Wow. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. This is truly an honor. I must say that I was surprised when Beth called me and told me to check my email. And I said, wow, courage and character. But before I go on, I must give honor to whom honor is due, and that's my Creator. Because without my Creator, none of this would have been possible. I'm known as the church lady of the group, of the leadership council. So I can't be anything other than what I am. I can't come up here and pretend that and not let my light shine, because I'm a broken mosaic and my light can't help shine through this cracked pot. But I want to talk about my purpose. And my purpose is, back in the annals of time, in Jeremiah 29 and 11, he said, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, Josie, and they are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a good and expected end." And even though during my lifetime I have not had a lot of peace, I've had a lot of evil, I've been through some things. My course, my plan was to go in the Air Force and become a pediatrician. But that's not what God had planned for me. I ended up going to prison, but that's okay. I found peace decades later when God told me that I may not be able to heal people's body, but He has gifted me with something to help heal their soul. So upon my release from Hardwick Women's Prison, I made God a promise. That was almost 32 years ago, that I would serve Him and that I would help advocate for His people, His sons and daughters. Because while I was incarcerated, I saw life as it truly was. I took a lot of things for granted before my incarceration. So I can truly say that I thank God for my incarceration, because it opened my eyes. It truly opened my eyes to a lot of things. I want to thank also for people who have helped me along the way. I want to thank Northwestern for helping me in a 10-year battle. I want to thank Gail Smith. I want to thank Famita. They were all instrumental with Claim and Visible Voices. I want to thank people who've led me in so many different areas. There were even bad areas, but I learned what not to do, because that's just as important as learning what to do. People don't realize that you can learn a lesson even from the bad things. I want to thank the Barnabas Project. I want to thank the Jesus people, the Battered Women's Shelter, who helped me leave a volatile situation with a 9-month-old and a 21-month-old with just the clothes on my back and $5.35 in my pocket and come to Chicago to start over. That took courage, and it took character. When I saw the words courage and character, I was prompted to look up the words, and I knew what it meant, but I went back and looked it up, and I saw that courage is the ability to act on one's belief despite the danger or disapproval. And that's me. I was taught by my big mama that she used to tell me all the time, Fiend, that's my nickname. You stand on your Constitution. You don't bend your back. You stand with your shoulders straight, and you look people straight in their eyes. And that's what I did. I had to stand on my Constitution, knowing that greater is He that's within me than he that's in the world. And knowing that when whatever that came upon me, that I had the victory. So it took courage for me to leave everything behind in Atlanta, Georgia, and come to Chicago. It takes character for me to stand on my faith, even though when people around me don't share my faith, they ridicule me, they do whatever. But when you know that He's been faithful, that He's absolute, that He's faithful, and that He's sovereign, I have no other recourse but to stand on my faith. Character is described as mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual, and that's me. I'm sure that many of you all have seen the movie Pulp Fiction, and in that movie, Wolf says to Raquel, just because you are a character, that doesn't mean that you have character. That's something to think about, right? But that word character has about 4 different connotations. And that can also be applied to me, because anybody that knows me, I have character, and I can be quite a character because I like to have fun. I'm full of shenanigans. I like to laugh. I like to joke. And they call me country. Miss Cynthia and Beth say they would never like to sit next to me on an airplane. I wonder why really? I think I'm quite a nice person, but that's okay. I see CGLA as being a character because of the work it's done, because one of the definitions is that it's a tool that brands something and put its mark. So with the work that the Leadership Council and its collaboratives are doing, it's putting a mark in society, one that has integrity, one that takes courage, and one that takes character. And I'm proud to be a part of that. Going back to the thank yous, I thank the former director, Gretchen, for leading me to LaSalle Street. She led me to that church when I was having a downtime. And when I got there, I'm like, God, you lead me to a 130-year-old Swedish church. I'm black. Pentecostal. Tell tell me how this was gonna work. They sitting in there quiet as a mouse. And I'm in a moment about to shout, hallelujah. But that church loved me in a moment when I needed love the most. So thank you, Gretchen, wherever you are out there. It takes character. I don't know what I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to love on people because I was loved. Wisdom was installed in me. No matter where I go, people come up to me, they just start talking to me. My friend calls me the extrapolator. I just seem to pull things out of people, and I thank God for that gift. I thank also for my colleagues, the Leadership Council. I thank God for Rocky, for them being patient, loving, and kind during my disease process. This past year has been difficult with me as my mobility has decreased. I thank them for visiting me when I go in the hospital, because sometimes when I go in the hospital, I'm there for 2 or 3 months at a time. And I even see that as a good thing because I call it my mission trips. There's where my purpose is, where people come around my bed and I get to share love. That's one of my purposes. My other purpose is to whenever I get to go inside the prison, I let them know that they are somebody. That just because they made a mistake, that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I thought it was the end of the world for me when my professor told me in college that because I was black and because I was a woman that I couldn't be a doctor. I quit. That was 35, almost 40 years ago, but that's okay. I'm so happy now that I've found my purpose, and my purpose is what is being just, what is being merciful, and what is being benevolent, and what is being humane. I wouldn't trade that for the world. I enjoy going into the world, so I'm done. Thank you.